Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you guys can hear me. I got to check on my mic settings. I was messing with it a little bit, and I think it might be coming through my camera. But it's good to see you guys. We have a lot to talk about in a very short period of time because I cannot stay on here very long. Also, my green screen is not working, so apologize for that. Hi, Libby Creations. How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, guys, we're going to jump straight into this case because, like I said, I have a very, very small window that I am able to jump live and kind of talk about this right now. There is a missing 12-year-old boy. His name is J. Ryan R.J. Davis. He goes by R.J. or R.J. Cole. He could also be known as. He is missing in, is it Chickasha, Oklahoma? I probably said that wrong. But he is missing right now in Oklahoma. He has been missing, it is believed, since around 1 a.m. on January the 3rd, is what police and, well, the parents are actually saying conflicting information, but we will get into that a little bit more in just a second. I'm actually going to start this out by watching the press conference because I have not seen it yet. The police have just done this press conference. And so there's a lot of information I'm hoping that we can glean from that. Actually, scratch that. Let's watch this video first. So this is just a video that came out 1 day ago for the missing advisory for the fact that this child is missing. And then I need to go ahead and share this to my Discord because I have not notified anybody that I was live yet.
Breaking right now, the Highway Patrol putting out an alert for 12-year-old Ryan Davis. Now, Ryan also goes by Riker Cole. He was last seen
Riker
in
Cole.
Chickasha
Totally.
on January 2nd at 11 o'clock at night. Hasn't been seen since. Now, Ryan's 4 feet 11 inches tall and weighs around 100 pounds. You see his picture there. He has brown hair and brown eyes. If you see him, please give 911 a call.
Okay. So
Yeah, Evan, that's right.
Chickasha, is that how he said that? And Riker Cole. Riker Cole is what he is going by. So that is something that you should know. Another thing you should know is this child has went missing before. This is allegedly the third time, I believe, that he has gone missing. Um, a lot of times he has allegedly ran away on his own. And so I don't know how to feel about it though, because his parents have been arrested at this point. So that's something to keep in mind with this as well. So let's go ahead and play this press conference and we will see what we got going on here. Actually, I have to do it this way because it does need audio boosted.
The public information manager.
The audio boosted, sorry. I'm like trying to look around the camera at stuff.
With the OSBI, I have the chief of police with the Chickasha Police Department, as well as the assistant chief too, as we've been working on this in a collaborative effort to locate this 12-year-old boy. What I can tell you is the latest we have is that we are still searching for him at this time. He has not been found. We are still receiving several tips. We are still following up on those tips. But the boy has not been found. We do believe that he is still alive at this time, and so we're doing everything we can to locate him. The other update we have, since we had last spoke yesterday, is that as this investigation continued, the OSBI made contact with the 12-year-old boy's parents, that is his biological mother and his stepfather. During the conversation with them, it was learned that there was apparent harm done to this child while he was living with these two parents. Based on everything that we were able to gather, based on search warrants that we conducted, and that's multi-jurisdictional agencies that were involved in those, we came to the conclusion that both parents were arrested on child abuse complaints, multiple child abuse complaints as we move forward with this investigation. And so those two parents, as of late last night, were booked into the Caddo County Jail, where they will be at this time. Official charges, of course, will go through the District 6 District attorney's office as we move forward with that. What I can say from the OSBI standpoint is when the Chickasha Police Department requested us to look into this case, not only was it important for us to locate this child safely, but we also needed to look into the entire aspect of this case and find out why is this child missing from the very beginning for multiple days, what's going on and what's going on with his home life, as well as we kind of dig deep and find out a little bit more into what has caused this. And based on those findings, it was important for us to talk to his parents, find out a little bit more about what was going on at home during that time. And as we looked into it, making sure that when this child is safe, that he stays safe and that he goes home to a safe environment moving forward was very important for us. And it was deemed that it was not a safe environment for him. So that's why these two parents are behind bars at this time. We are encouraging people. We understand there's been a lot of Facebook posts and comments about the boy has been seen here and there. We've followed up on all of those so far. What we can still say is that the last time that this 12-year-old boy was confirmed seen was that January 2nd date here in Chickasha. So we are still encouraging people, please reach out to us, contact us. If you see where this boy might have been, where he's going, other people that might have been in contact with him up until he went missing, please reach out to us. We will follow up on all those tips. We've had search parties with all these jurisdictional agencies yesterday, all through tonight, today, as we move forward with this process. And so, again, these arrests are just one step, but the ultimate goal will not change. We need to locate this child safely and bring him home as quickly as we possibly can. I'll field some more questions, but I'm going to have Chief say a few words too.
I just want to say real quick to everybody, we appreciate so much the efforts. As Hunter said, this has been a multi-jurisdictional effort. So between Chickasha Police, OSBI, Grady County, I believe Caddo County, OHP, and others, this has been quite an effort. Culminated last night with the 2 arrests that Hunter made mention of. The important thing is already this morning we're following up on at least 2 other tips as we speak. Here's what I need from everybody listening. This child will not be going back to that home. All we want to do is lay eyes on this child, get him the medical care that he needs, and assure him physically and emotionally he will not be returning back to that environment. So if anybody out there listening through media, through social media, through any source can bring him here, I will personally meet with this child. We want to get him safe and we want to get him medically cleared so that he is good. Thank you.
I'm just going to pause for a second and say that's concerning. Obviously, whatever they found on these parents was enough for them to be extremely concerned about this child's medical well-being and to know that he was abused enough that they are now under arrest. Their charges too are different than what I think you would typically see with abuse cases, which is kind of concerning for me as well. I think though too, this is a big point. Lisa said this was over winter break, and did they report him missing just before he would have had to go back to school? Is that how this all occurred? Is that why they finally reported him missing? How long has he actually been gone? And I'm hopeful that the police have enough evidence that he might still be alive, that he can hopefully come home. But I'm also scared, the fact that they know that there was some type of abusive situation going on. I'm scared that he doesn't have the ability to come home. So we definitely need to be praying for Ryan and RJ rather. We need to be praying for him that if he sees this, if he is able to come home, if whoever has him is able to bring him to police to get medically cleared, to get him checked on, to make sure that he's okay. It's so important. So important. Yeah, he obviously went through things that no one should have ever. But it's scary. It's very scary because there are kids every day going through situations like this, and how many people never find out about it? And I want to know the parents' motivation on reporting him missing. Was he actually physically seen at any of these locations that police are able to say confidently that he was last seen at 1 a.m. on the 3rd? I don't know, because he just said that all sightings, all potential sightings so far have not panned out. And so it scares me. Yeah, last verified sighting was January 2nd. Okay, thank you so much for that, BC.
Questions?
Based on what you've learned,
Yeah.
can you talk about the environment he was living in and specifically the harm done?
Specifically, the harm done, we cannot go into that yet. It is still an ongoing investigation. Now, when this child is found, there will be updates of what our findings are. So we will eventually go into that and when these charges are officially filed. But as of right now, specifics on that, we just can't go into that right now.
Do you believe that the parents have something to do with this little boy's disappearance?
We believe that the parents caused, like I said, harm. Now, this last time that the boy went missing, was it specifically because of the harm done to him by these parents? We're just not sure about that yet. That's why, that we're going to still dig into, what was going on at home during that time. So that's something that we will certainly still continue to look into as this moves forward. But it was very clear that it was not a safe environment for this child at home.
Have DHS been called to this home before?
We have been in contact with DHS. We can get that for you to double check on that. I would like to talk to them about that, though.
You went out to the property yesterday to interact with them. Can you kind of tell us, did you search the property? Is there anything that you guys found while you were out there, or was that just specifically just to apprehend them?
The property was searched, and like I said, we had followed up on multiple properties within the Grady County and Caddo County areas. But again, specifics that were found during our search warrant, just can't unveil that yet.
Can you describe the conditions of the home?
Probably not yet.
Can you speak to why the parents were charged with conspiracy and crimes against nature, the counts themselves?
Sure. It was child abuse and then child sexual abuse that was complaints to both parents. The conspiracy, of course, is because they were, together when these crimes did occur towards this child. And so that's what we have so far. Now, of course, when this reaches the DA, we'll see what charges are officially filed. But based on our conversation with the parents, that's what the OSBI, that's what our complaints for the arrests were made.
So what's on Caddo County's further booking, that is correct, then the crimes against nature and the conspiracy?
Correct.
Along with child abuse by?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. And you say sexual abuse, do you have evidence that, or have they told you?
Again, not going into specifics, but based on what we were able to find in the conversations with those parents, yes, that's why those complaints were placed there, and that's why that's part of their arrest.
Was there any incident on that? Did they tell you what the incident was on Friday? There's been a few stories that have circulated around as far as what happened that Friday before he disappeared, but do you have any idea? We were able to unveil part of the story of what might have occurred before that boy went missing, but obviously it's going to be very important when we find and locate this child to find out a little bit more of what had occurred, up until that January 2nd date.
How long it might have been going on?
No, we're still looking into that, and an exact timeline of how long exactly, not sure. But we know that from the timeline that we do have and what was found, it was harm that was caused to this child.
It's possible it could have happened the first time they ran away?
Yeah, it is possible. We just haven't we haven't found that concrete that it had happened in those other times that he went missing.
Are there any other children in the home?
Chief? There was, no, there was not.
You guys are obviously still continuing the search for this boy. What gives you, not necessarily the confidence, but what makes you guys think that he's still around this area? Is there searches going on in other counties or other parts of the state as you look for this boy?
Based on everything we've been able to find so far, we're talking about a 12-year-old boy who we believe was on foot. And so
When you're talking about the last time that he was seen was in Chickasha here in town, of course, where the parents' residence was in Caddo County down by Cement. And so, you know, you're talking about a rural area in between Caddo County and then here in Chickasha. But everything that we've been able to see so far, we do believe that he is somewhere in that area of these two counties.
The last sighting was at the, I'm assuming you're talking about the Quality Inn, or at least somewhere.
Yes,
there in
right,
town.
right.
Do you have evidence? Like, do we have him on video? Is that how we know he's confirmed that was his last sighting? Because I know there's been a lot of people saying that they've seen him in other places, and of course, you guys have said you searched for them. But are those not true sightings, or can you elaborate on that?
You're talking about the last time that we had confirmed that he was seen. Yes, those are confirmed sightings that he was seen. You know, I can't go into the specifics of what we had seen, but we were able to use the resources there in town of those nearby buildings to confirm that he was there at that time. And again, like we said, that was right down the street here. And so, you know, Chickasha residents of Caddo, Grady County has done a great job of reaching out to us. We need them to continue to do that.
I guess, what's your next step moving forward from here?
Next step is these, you know, these large searches will continue. I mean, I've told you, it's not just us and Chickasha Police Department, Grady County Sheriff's Office, Caddo County Sheriff's Office, District 6 Task Force. Everybody's still working around the clock. There's been, you know, shift changes, obviously, but these comments that we get, whether it's social media, whether it's through our tip line, straight calls, we are following up on these. And so it's just a continuous, maybe seeing where he might have been, where he is going. But we will not stop until this child's found.
Are you using drones?
Yes, we're using everything necessary. Drones, you know, dogs, everything that we get a tip on, we're using all those, you know, the technology and resources to see where exactly this child might have been.
Are there volunteers that come forward?
Yes, I can say that I actually got a call this morning. And so there are people that have helped, that are wanting to continue to help. And you guys know, not just here in the Grady County area, but throughout the entire state, we always have people step up and help with that, and we really appreciate it.
Where are you concentrating your search right now?
Just in those two county areas. So in between where that residence was down in Cement up until Chickasha is where it's concentrated. Of course, if we get a tip, anything outside of these two counties, of course, we're going to look and we're going to use our resources, but that's where it's concentrated so far.
Do we think he's been staying outside, or do you think he's got some shelter somewhere?
We're just not sure. I mean, you would hope he's got shelter, but I mean, you know, guys, we've talked about this. I mean, this is multiple days now of a 12-year-old boy. I mean, it's to a point where he needs to be found as quickly as possible, because, you know, not knowing where he is, not knowing where he's staying, it's extremely scary.
Any chance an Amber Alert may be issued at some point, or is that, are we beyond that? Or?
No, from what we've been able to gather, that will not. So we'll be able to continue to use what resources we have to push that out.
Not been drilled into the ground, but have you gotten any hits, like, from using dogs, or have you seen anything on drones? Have you used thermal at all, or?
Yeah, we've used all that, but in terms of actual, like you called it, hits to see, no, we have not gotten that yet. But we're still using all of that.
What's your reaction to just what you've learned about what's happened to this boy in his home?
This is extremely sad. This is a horrific case so far for everybody involved. I mean, again, you're talking about a 12-year-old boy, where it was seen that he was, you know, living in a household where he didn't get to live a life of a normal 12-year-old boy. And so what we've discovered that he had to go through during this time, it's extremely sad. And now he's, you know, no one knows where he is. He's, you know, out on the streets, possibly. It's extremely sad, but again, we're going to do everything in our power to make sure that he is found safe.
Thank you.
Yep. Anything else?
Okay, so crimes against nature. Let's talk about that for a second. The crimes against nature, I have it pulled up on one of these. Crimes against nature. We are looking at mom and dad being arrested. Which one is it? I probably just closed it. Here they are. There's mom and dad. Here is her actual Facebook page. So she started posting about him being missing and asking for search parties, things of that nature. Um, pretty straightforward right away. But things just weren't adding up with what she was saying versus what police were saying from what I'm gathering. So an initial post, she's posting the photos of him, sharing the photos of him, asking for people to come help search. Says if anyone, so he had already ran away December 17th. If anyone sees my son, if you would let me or the department know, we are in, I'm going to say that wrong again, Chickasha. And he has been missing since 1 a.m. My phone is, you know, what her phone number is. And then she posts again about him missing again on January 3rd. Let's hear a comment since this all happened, since this press conference. It says, neighbor on your previous post said he could hear the dogs barking around 1 a.m. on the backside of the house. Police are saying that he was last seen at around 1 a.m. in the early morning hours of Saturday, January 3rd at the Quality Inn near South 4th and South 4th Street and East Grandview Avenue. Says he was wearing a red flannel shirt, blue jeans, and brown work boots, and an orange beanie. He hasn't been seen or heard from since. If you see RJ, call 911. These are the initial posts. Then she says, does anyone in Grady County or surrounding areas do any rescue on horseback? I'm looking for my son. He can be anywhere. I need help. We update. We aren't allowed to use ATVs or UTVs, only UTVs and horses. We have permission from a kind wander to use their property. And it's just post after post in these days. And now, as of last night, they have been arrested. Oops. Okay. So it says on Wednesday, the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation announced that the investigation into the 12-year-old boy's suspicious disappearance. The parents of the 12-year-old boy, who was reported missing nearly a week ago, are now booked into the Caddo County Jail. On Tuesday, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol issued an endangered missing advisory for Ryan R.J. Davis, who also goes by Riker Cole. He was last seen at 11:20 p.m. January 2nd on foot at 4th Street and East Grandview Avenue near the Quality Inn. So this is 11:20. Police had said 1 a.m. I'm not sure. On Wednesday, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation announced that it had joined the investigation into the 12-year-old's disappearance. I want to know what led to this arrest of the parents. So it says the father, George Cole, was booked into jail around midnight, while the boy's mother, Kimberly Cole, was booked around 10 p.m. Chickasha. Thank you so much. Was booked around 10 p.m. The OSBI officials say the two were arrested on multiple child abuse and child sexual abuse complaints, saying that there was apparent harm done. Davis was wearing a red and black plaid shirt, dark colored jeans, and brown steel toe boots. He's 4'11", 85 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. So this is them whenever they actually spoke to the news reporters pleading for their son's return.
Get ready, country music fans. Clay Walker, the multi-platinum legend with 11 #1 hits.
Yeah, Evan, that's right. The OSBI officially joining the search for Ryan Davis Jr., and they tell us today this disappearance is now suspicious.
But it gets to a point where it's multiple days and we're still not sure where this boy had gone. It's suspicious.
Ryan Davis Jr. was last seen near 4th Street and Grand Avenue in Chickasha last Friday. The longer he's gone, the more law enforcement are stepping up their search for answers.
There's a lot of unsolved questions about, where he exactly, not only where he is, but why he is missing at this time.
The OSBI stepping in on Wednesday to help Chickasha Police Department investigate the suspicious disappearance.
When we're talking about a young boy who is missing and has been missing for multiple days, there's not too many resources that you can use.
The missing child's mother thankful for the community's support and pleading to see her son.
I want to thank everybody that has helped, and anybody that wants to continue to help is needed and wanted. And we just want our son back home. We want him back.
Law enforcement officials asking for the community's assistance in finding this boy.
We are still taking tips. We're taking calls. We're doing everything we can to advise the people here in town and on the outskirts that if you see this boy, know of where he might have been, to please contact us.
The OSBI did tell us today that they do believe that Ryan is still alive and they are still continuing their search for him. Live in Chickasha, Patrick Talbot, KOCO 5 News.
So yes, so they were asking for help, and then he was not found still, and they have been arrested at this point. I'm trying to find the one that I pulled up that has their charges exactly laid out. As you heard him say, though, there is some issues with bestiality going on with this, crimes against nature, and the crimes against nature that happened, it is against mom. Let's see. Her actual arrest is the one for crimes against nature. Here it is. Child abuse by injury, crimes against nature, and then he has the child abuse charges and conspiracy charges, which, as you heard the police say, that means that he was there and present and knew this was happening or conspired during the acts that were happening. But the crimes against nature actually occurred against him. And so then that leads you to say, well, what are the crimes against nature? What exactly does that mean? Crimes against nature charges in Oklahoma. Sorry, I'm trying to find the actual breakdown that I found, and I don't know what I did. I probably closed it. Crimes against nature in Oklahoma can be things like sodomy. It is felony for sexual acts with mankind or beast, punishable by up to 10 years in prison with potential life sentences for repeat offenses for victims under 16. Now, how did they find out about these charges? Was there pictures maybe on their phone? Was there communications about the abuse that was going on? Did they find signs of the abuse throughout the home? What led them to being able to charge these parents? It says the statute broadly defines it as detestable or an abominable crime or any sexual penetration, however slight, can complete the offense with mandatory post imprisonment supervision and longer sentences. So this could be animal cruelty, um, and it also could be sexual offenses. It can be several different things, but it again, it goes back to sodomy and animal things. And this is happening to this 12-year-old boy. And I don't know how I feel about that being put out public, these charges being put out public. If this child is missing on his own accord, I hope that he reaches out for help and treatment if he needs treatment. I hope he isn't like embarrassed to come forward now that this information has all been put out to the public. But it's a concerning situation. We're going to keep following up with this case, and I'm going to do another live later going into more details and actually breaking this down a little bit more organized than this. But I did want to come live briefly and kind of give you guys a heads up as to what's going on with this. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But I am going to go ahead and jump off here because I do have to go get my niece from school. I just I'm just sick. I'm just sick about the fact that this child is missing and that these monsters are maybe behind it. I mean, I hope that he left on his own. I hope that this isn't a situation, where they did something to him beyond the abuse, right? I hope that he isn't deceased. And they are saying right now at this point that they do believe that he is alive and has the ability to come home. They're looking for him to help provide medical treatment. This is not the first time he's run away. And so I really hope and pray that the people who have helped him in the past, if there was anybody, or wherever he has ran away to in the past, that he is able to find comfort and solace there again, and that they are able to get him the help that he needs. The police officials themselves have said they will ensure that he will not go back to his parents again. He will not go back to those homes. And honestly, I don't think his parents are going to be going back to their home anytime soon either. I think that they are going to be locked up for a very, very long time if there is proof and evidence of this, which I believe there is going to be. So, but I will catch up with you guys later on this evening and we will talk about this, like I said, more in depth. I also got a few other cases that I want to talk about as well, some updates on some things that we had been covering. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys for stopping by and tuning in, and we will see you all this evening. Bye.